Hey guys, it's Rachel, and I meant for this to be my Shadowhunter makeup tutorial, but I started filming and I started doing my eye makeup, and I even went as far as started to do this bruise when I realized I was actually not recording. And so instead of having to do all of it over again, I'm just going to explain to you what I did, and then we'll get straight to just doing the bruises and the scarring for right now. So what I did with the eyes is that I pretty much just put eyeliner on the top and the bottom and did the wing. I didn't even really put any mascara on at all. And then for this bruise, I'll explain how to do this because this one's going to be a little bit different than the other ones. The other ones that I do are going to be more of a brown base bruise instead of a blue and a purple one like this one is. So what I did is I just started off with, I'm looking into a mirror right here, so if you see this throughout the shoot, it's my mirror that I'm looking in. But what I did is I just started off and I put a purple down, and then I started layering just purples and blues after that with just a little bit of black onto it. Really, bruises, you don't need that much dark color, otherwise it looks like just a black spot on your face. So when you're doing this, please be careful of that, because you don't want it to be just bruising. Like, you don't want it to be just black spots all over your face, and you don't want it to be really dark. You want to be careful that it's actually got some different colors into it and stuff like that. And bruises is all about just layering that stuff on. And so that's just what you have to worry about, is just, I just did layering of blues and purples, and mainly blues and purples. I think I might have did a little bit of yellow, but like I said, mainly blues and purples and a little bit of black, just a little bit of it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another bruise right here, and then I'm going to put, I think maybe another bruise right here, and I'll show you guys that right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a brown, like I said, it's going to be a brown based one. Let's start with this one right here. Remember what I said, it's all about just layering colors down. You want to make sure that you don't put just everything so dark right away. Let me open up this palette. You want to make sure everything's not so dark, and you want to actually layer colors down. Put a little bit of blue. And the blue that I'm using is actually this really electric blue right here. And I'm just taking a little bit of that electric blue, and I'm going to put it right there. But once you start blending the blue out, you can see how it kind of actually blends really well out. And it makes a nice blue for it. And so that way, that also helps when it gets to the dark colors, because then you have the electric blue, and so it's not such a dark color, and it helps make everything, like I said, not so dark, because you want to watch out for that, because a lot of people think that bruises, I'm taking a purple right now, a lot of people think that bruises is all about just taking dark colors and meshing them together, but they're really not. They're just about layering the right amount of colors down. I'm going to go back to the brown and put the brown back over top of it. Alright, I'm going to finish this off with a little bit of an orange and a yellow on top, going back to the same palette. Now the yellow is almost gone, but I'm using what I can with the yellow and mixing it with the yellow. Sorry, that's the phone ringing. I'm mixing it with the yellow and the orange, and I'm mixing it together. And I'm going to put that over top of it, because bruises have that sort of yellowish color around the edges when they're healing, and so that's what I'm doing with this color right now. I'm putting it over the top of the whole thing, but I'm making it extend all around it. And so yeah, that's how I'm doing the bruises. And I'm going to do another bruise like that right here along my cheekbone. And I'm going to go ahead and do that to save footage, and then I'll be back and I'll show you guys how to do the scarring that I'm going to have. Hey guys, on my face. So I went ahead and did this bruise right here, but I put a little bit more purple and blue tones in here than I did with this one, but I did go back and put a little bit more purple in that one as well. And I forgot that I didn't show you the purple that I was using. I was using these two purples right here. I was doing a mix, so I would, one layer would do that purple, and then the next layer I would do that purple. And so I was just kind of using both those purples right there. And so right now, what we're going to do right now is I'm going to put 3 kind of claw marks almost, like right there. And that's why I want to put the bruise on first, and so we'd have the claw marks on later, like they were the last ones that got clawed. So I'm gonna kind of go like that, and have 3 claw marks right there, going all the way to my chin. And I'm gonna use, first, I'm gonna be using this Ben Nye lip pencil, and it is in Cocoa Cherry. That's the color of it. Just watch it on the back of my hand for this. That's the color. So it's kind of a mauve color. And what we're going to be doing with this one is I'm going to be drawing the lines of the claw marks in those 3 places that I said. Like this. So there you go. We have the claw marks right there. And so what we're going to do next is I'm going to take clear nail polish. And if you have rigid collodion, you can also use that one. But this is, I'm just going to be using clear nail polish right here. And what this is going to do is we're going to trace it over, do a few coats over, right over where we marked with the lip pencil. And what that's going to do is that once it dries, it's going to kind of give it like wrinkly looking. It's going to make the scars look kind of wrinkly looking like a scar would. And it also will kind of raise the skin a little bit, so it looks like, it actually looks like you did some scarring. So I'm going to go and do that, and I'm going to let it dry, and I'm going to come back and I'll show you what we do next. So stick around. Okay, so I've done about 3 to 4 coats of just clear liquid nail polish on the scars. And so while this last coat is drying, I'm just going to start kind of stretching the skin a little bit, and this is going to help it to wrinkle up like we want it to, so that the scarring right here is going to be a little wrinkled, which is what we want it to look like. And it's also going to look a little shiny, but we'll go back and we'll put a little bit of powder on it to take away some of the shininess. So don't worry about that. But for right now, I realize I'm making some awesome faces right now. Just start kind of moving your cheek and working it. Get it to stretch. You want it to stretch so that while it's, you don't want to do it when the last coat is completely wet. You want to do it when it's drying, not when you first just put it on, so that it's in that stage to where it's not completely dry, but it's also, you didn't just put it on, and it'll help get it to look all wrinkly. Okay, let's see here. That is pretty much dry. So what I'm going to do right now, if I can find my brush, I'm just going to take a little bit of some white powder. I think I'm actually going to use my fingers for this, and just put it over it. And you can use any kind of powder. You can use baby powder, you can use translucent powder, you can use pressed powder. But right now I just have some white powder next to me, and my skin is so pale as it is that white powder is going to be fine. And it's not a very pigment white powder either, so it's going to work just okay. But I'm pretty much just going to rub that over it. Rub that over it to take away some of the shininess of it. But it's still going to look pretty shiny. Not pretty shiny, but it's still going to look shiny. So we're still going to get that kind of gleamy effect. Now you see as I'm going around my bruise with the white powder, don't go over the bruise with the white powder or your translucent powder. Just get the areas that aren't on the bruise. And then take your brush that you used, this is the brush that I used all the bruising colors, and use whatever's left over on the brush to brush over the areas that are on the bruise. And if you need to, go ahead and pick up a little bit more of those purples and blues. Just a little bit, like dust off in the back of your hand or something. There we go. And you can, that way you don't compromise the bruise that you work so hard to work on, but you also don't have that shininess of your scar. Okay, so you can either leave it like this, and this will kind of look like a scar that's healing, or that's already healed because the color is not as like dark or anything. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with this kind of mauve red color right here. And I'm going to go through and take a little bit of this. I'm going to put it over it. Yeah, got the right brush. I'm going to put this over the scarring right here. And this will help make it look like the scar has just been done. Which is a little bit of the look that I'm going for. But it just kind of makes the color pop just a little bit more. And you can also do this, and this will still make it look like the scar is healing. It's really going to be the last step that makes it look like the scar that you just got scratched. And don't worry too much about this step. If you go outside of the line, so to say, of your scar, it'll be okay, because it'll just look like that's part of the area that just wasn't deep, that has such a deep scratch, but it's the outside of the scratch. So it'll, especially right here in this bruise area, it'll look okay if you get a little bit outside the lines. And you can make your scar lines be as big or little as you want it. What I first was going to do with the scars, I was going to have them come all the way down to my neck, but I was going to put a rune right here on my neck, but then I decided to put this one over here, and so I kind of switched it at the last minute, and so that's why it's only going down my chin. But you can make it as long or as little. I was actually going to put a scar right here as well, like on my lip, but I just, for right now, for the purpose of this video, I just want to focus on just these three little lines. Alright, and I'm going to take my brush I was doing all that bruising with and go through these edges. Like I said, that it was okay to get all the red scar stuff on it, and just run over this. Because we're just blending that out right now. Okay, now it's this final step that you can do or you don't have to do. You can leave it like this, or you can leave it back at the first step. Like this, it also kind of looks like it's healing, but it's not as far along as the other one was. The other one was probably just a completely healed scar that was just really bad, and so it's still really dark. But this one is kind of like it's in the phases of being healed. It's not completely healed. Now this next one, I'm going to take just a brush, and I'm going to get some red lipstick, and I'm going to put some red lipstick over it, and that's what is going to make it look like it's fresh. And so what I'm choosing to do is I'm going to take a dark red lipstick. You can use a bright one if you want, but I feel like the darker it is, the better it'll be, because the darker the color is, the deeper it's going to look. Like the wound was deep. That's really deep. So, let me actually hold my mirror still. So just take I'm just going to start doing the tops of them real quick so I can just kind of bring that color down. And because this is lipstick, if you make a little mistake like that, just kind of wipe it away until it fades a little bit and then just continue. Because it won't make that big of a difference, because it'll just look like the area around it is irritated. So it'll be okay. So just using a brush, travel down the scars with that red lipstick. Try and blend this one out a little bit.
Hey guys, so the outro to this video got messed up, so I'm going to say all that fun stuff right now. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like the video if you want to see more makeup tutorials. Comment down below with anything else you want to see, either it's makeup ideas or anything else. Don't forget to subscribe for more awesome videos like this. And you can follow me at Twitter, fangirl_nerd. I'll put the link in the description box down below. And you can tweet me your recreations. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.